Wiggins. And the pass to Vonleh. The shot, no good. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Outside Turner. He dishes it to Iguodala. Back to Turner. Ball outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Covington against Iguodala. Wiggins. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way would Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Here's T, following the score by Kevin Garnett. Nice move. First shot, first pass. He's out of the blocks fast.
This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
Ball against T. Ball passes to Iguodala. Right side, Kobe. Bryant is doubled. Covington with the steal. Wiggins outside. Out to the wing. Teague against Kobe. Teague penetrating. Turner. That one no good. Towns with the defensive effort. Wiggins surveying the floor. Sweet little floater. Wiggins has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Listen, he's figuring out how to maximize his immense physical gifts, but Andrew Wiggins being aggressive on the drive.
A three from Bryant, rebounded by the Timberwolves, getting their first look of the season at this Hornets team.
Should be an interesting game as these teams don't see a lot of each other being from different conferences.
Right, they'll meet 2 times this year, East versus West. Let's see which team can enforce their style of play.
Now here's Garnett. A 23-point game for him in the win against Chicago.
And then how about the block shots, guys? I mean, just overpowering on the defensive side. Really, he was the intimidator.
And here is Teague following the 3 from Chris Paul. Towns down low. He's against Turner. Garnett with the block.
KG has always had tremendous instincts, and another one back the way it came.
Back the ball. Bryant passes to Garnett. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
All right, a chance to see stats for Paul. Coming off a terrific season. 3rd in assists. And his ability to pressure and disrupt defensively was obvious. He ranked 3rd in the league in steals.
And as you mentioned, top 3 in assists last year. He did a great job of setting the pace, finding the open man, making the simple delivery. Yep, that one goes in there.
Well, there's an efficiency with which Karl Anthony Towns can work when he's in the painted area. That is nicely done.
Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
And here's Wiggins following the 3-pointer by Kobe Bryant to the right side. The wide open look here for Vonleh, and he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. Pass to Bryant. Outside Turner. Paul right side. Here's Garnett. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. That one is on Towns.
Posterizing defenders for over 2 decades now. Garnett, yeah, he can still do this.
Well, the one thing I love seeing in these early games, seeing the wrinkles that the Stars have added, the new technique or the new move they've added, Doris, during their games they played over the summer.
It feels, Kevin, like if you are not improving over the summer in the NBA, you are falling behind. Case in point, right, is the big men in the NBA. Look at guys like Brook Lopez and Marc Gasol, now able to stretch their game out to three-point territory. So important to keep growing.
Now here's Paul after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns, and that one goes out of bounds. That's touched by Teague. Paul passes to Kobe. Charlotte moving it around. Back to Garnett. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, the league's most valuable player in 2004. What a career KG has had.
The Hornets have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game. First one falls for him.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it does.
Greg, I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
Now here's Wiggins. He's coming off a 31-point game against the Nets in Brooklyn. 4 on the clock. Knocked away. Fast break now for Charlotte. And here they go. And the dunk by Ball.
That's just too easy for Ball. Once he gets the right position, his focus there is on the finish.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout coming off that loss against the Nets.
Well, when you're facing a team that's feeding off the crowd's energy, you have to bring your A game, and they didn't do that defensively.
One thing you know, Greg, is you've got to pack your defense in the suitcase if you're going to win on the road, and they simply did not bring it.
Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for the Hornets. And a change for the Timberwolves. Culver's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. Passes it to Culver. Towns with it. Pass to Okogie. Back to Towns. Pocket 4. Here's Graham. Minnesota working with a new shot clock. Chang, no luck.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
Kobe misses.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
Now here's Paul. A 38-point game for him in the win against Chicago. The pass to Garnett. Over Towns. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Garnett's got 9.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Pass to Towns. Over Bull. Got a hand on it.
And that massive wingspan coming into play there. Ball uses it to perfection to block shots. And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Enzo Graham will bring it up for Minnesota. A 12-point game. Minnesota calls timeout.
And really, few guys in the league are more unique than Bobo. Has length for days and needs to add a tremendous amount of strength to guard his natural position.
Here are the top distributors from last season. These guys always seem to find the open man. Third is Chris Paul.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Now, here's Culver. He's covered by Isaac. It's deflected and out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. Hornets leading by 12. And talking about Bol, his dad, Manute Bol, was known for his defense. That is not the case for his son.
Well, they're two completely different types of players. Bol's game is about skill. He can handle, he can shoot. And for someone who's 7'2", he's a tremendous playmaker.
Here's Culver following the basket by Chris Paul. It's tipped. Pass to Garnett. We've got 1:55 left here in the first quarter. Rebound by Chang.
And they've come out with a take no prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Garnett outside. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 11 points for Kevin Garnett.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Pass to Culver. Up top, Chang. He kicks it to Culver. Back to Chang. Timberwolves passing it around. Shot clock at 5. Here's Graham. It's good from the top of the key.
Better to be lucky than good. Got that shot to fall.
Hornets leading by 14. The pass to Paul. 55 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Pass to Garnett. Shoots over Towns, and Garnett gets it to go on the assist by Paul. And that's 13 points for Garnett. Timberwolves trail by 16. Now Culver. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Kobe dishes to Garnett. Bryant, that's for 2. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Paul with the steal. The shot's good.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit, Greg, for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Towns down low, guarded by Garnett. Passes to Okogie. Just 3 to shoot. Three-pointer. And that one is off. And so is Charlotte closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. Back right after this. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, you know, so.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
So far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And a comfortable margin for the Hornets here, guys.
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Well, very disruptive in that first period. They never allowed the offense to get comfortable.
So on the floor for Minnesota, Towns and Chang, the lengthy pair inside. Then it's Culver, and it's Okogie in at the shooting guard position. Back to Chang. Graham with the ball. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
Now here's Paul. Defense right on him. Bryant looking over the floor. Garnett outside. Puts it up. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. Kobe's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Now, here's Culver. He's covered by Isaac. Culver kicks to Towns. Here's Graham, defended by Paul. Zhang with a clean look. Wide open shot is on the money. Zhang's got his first bucket in this one. And so it's Charlotte with it. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, they put the defense on them. Aggressive, intimidating. They blocked a lot of shots in that one.
Greg, it was obvious. They pressured that team from the outset every trip down the floor. That will wear an opponent down over time.
4 on the shot clock. And the cut by Bull.
How about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Minnesota calls timeout. Of course, so interesting to watch 7-footers who almost never shot 3-pointers make that now a featured part of the game.
Give some credit to the coaches who recognized the game was being revolutionized and that 3-point shooting, regardless of position, would become integral to success. So a guy like Marc Gasol, who actually fought the idea of taking threes, Brook Lopez, Nikola Vucevic, all of them have become more integral to team success and more capable NBA players because they can shoot the basketball. It's beautiful.
It is evolving and adapting at that size has been something to watch. Down against Teague. Good. Teague's got his 2nd basket of the game.
Well, Kevin, that is Jeff Teague just using his speed to go right by the defender. Until you turn around, he's gone.
Bryant against Wiggins. Back to Bryant. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. He'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Timberwolves have gone 50% from the floor in the 2nd quarter, 3 of 6. Down against Teague. And it's sent back by Turner.
Oh, Kevin, how about the reach of Miles Turner? He covers so much ground to come up with these blocks.
To the wing right side. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
And checking out some numbers for Andrew Wiggins. How he did last season. Last season, he averaged 18 points per, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And it's always nice to be able to bring a shooter like him off the bench.
Well, hard to win if you can't get points productivity. And that's what makes this guy valuable to that 2nd unit.
Now, here's Wiggins. Back to Teague. From outside the arc. Here's Vonleh. And it's blocked. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. And here in the 2nd quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Just 4 to shoot. Another shot. Hornets with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Outside, Kobe. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
Zhang, no luck. The Hornets have gotten all of their first 6 shots to go in here in the 2nd. What a quarter so far. And Kobe throws it down.
Well, tremendous understanding from the young Jonathan Isaac. How about that awareness for the young guy?
Here's Zhang. They get it back on lane. And no good. The try spell continuing for him. The Hornets have gone a superb 7 of 7 from the field here in the 2nd. Down against Teague. And it's Noah Vonleh with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Well, Doris, you and I love history. And we were talking the other day, you and I, about Bill Russell and his 11 championship rings. Do you think anyone's ever going to break that record?
I think it'll be close to impossible, Kevin, and the reason is, number one, there were so many fewer teams back then for Bill Russell, in no way diminishing the greatness of one of the game changers, both between the lines and outside the lines. Bill Russell will always be an historic figure, but it's very tough to compare eras. There's now 30 teams, nutrition, conditioning, coaching. There's just so much more information in the current era.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. Some changes for Charlotte. Biombo is checked in for Miles Turner. Garnett comes in for Doug McDermott. And it's Paul in for Dunn. And so here's Charlotte. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. And they double up Paul. Top of the key, Garnett. Over Vonleh. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And again, Minnesota will turn it over. Here's the list of players who had the most steals in the NBA last season. Third is Chris Paul.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
Paul with the ball. T covering. Garnett up top. 17 points in the game. And the layup's good off the glass. Garnett's got 6 in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Teague finds Covington. Back to Teague. Garnett with the block.
Boy, it's been a struggle in this quarter, and the team needs more from him. There's no doubt.
Over in the corner, Isaac. Bounce pass from Paul. Picks it out to Iguodala. Shot clock at 6. And again, Charlotte with the triple.
Well, Iguodala gets himself squared up before shooting. You can't give him that kind of space.
Here's T. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Nets in Brooklyn. Dishes to Jang. Back to T. Outside, Covington. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking coming up for the Charlotte Hornets. On Sunday, they'll be facing off against DeMarcus Cousins and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then on Monday, they'll face off against Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers. Here's Paul. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now, here's Covington. He had 15 points last outing. On the wing, Wiggins. Wiggins drawn the double team. Back to Covington. Trying to get something going. Cans it from downtown. Covington's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
To the middle, here's Garnett, and it's slammed in by Garnett.
He's in such a good rhythm offensively tonight. KG turning back the clock.
T feeling it out a bit. Jang with the ball, working on Biombo. Baseline J on the way. Jang, no luck.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
And it's good, 2 points.
And you gotta love how Paul sees the whole court so well. Maybe the best quality for a point guard to have.
Now here's Teague. To the paint. Here's Vonleh. Trying to get open as Jang. The shot by Vonleh, no good.
Wow, this defense is blanking him down the stretch, and that's certainly hurting his team's chances.
Ball is doubled.
Timeout.
Charlotte calls timeout. Well, Noah Vonleh was given a lot of minutes to work with last season, and he showed solid improvement.
Well, Vonleh was productive, both as a scorer and a rebounder. He made great use of the opportunity presented to him. You think about it, he came into the league at such a young age. You forget he's still years away from what we should consider his prime.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Caboclo's checked in for Garnett. McDermott comes in for Jonathan Isaac, and it's Dunn in for Paul. Now, here's Dunn. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Knocks it loose and stolen by Vonleh. Here's Culver, and the shot is good.
The D in the open floor.
Here's Dunn. Pass to Caboclo. Charlotte moving it around. McDermott passes to Caboclo. Back to McDermott. There's the three. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's a Kogi. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Dunn looking over the floor. Steps back and shoots. And the shot goes in.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
To the inside. Here's Towns. Second shot opportunity, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, beautifully done by Towns, using the up fake to bait the defender.
It's his first trip to the line. And Towns drops them both. Done outside from deep, Iguodala. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Hornets ahead, just dominating this one. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Girl, they made a run there at the end. How did that happen?
We didn't do a good job of closing the half. We got to contain them from not making shots. We just got to do a better job.
We'll see if you can do that. Thanks, Carl. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's Charlotte in control. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
Boy, it was rough down there in the paint, and they were just dominant, taking it to the rack. But that's what you have to be willing to do. Take the action to the heart of the competition without any fear. That's why this is already a blowout.
Shaq, what you think about Minnesota?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind them. If they can control those things, they'll be okay.
That's all for now. Say goodbye.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been a clinic from Kevin Garnett.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for Charlotte, Garnett out there with Iguodala. Then there's Kobe. Then it's Chris Paul. And it's Turner in at the 5, roaming the paint. 3 on the clock. From the stripe. That falls. Nice speed that time from Andre Iguodala. Turner's got the first basket of the second half. That one for Charlotte. There's the pass to Towns. Inside. And Towns throws it down.
We know this about Robert Covington. He is a team man first and foremost. Pretty pass.
Ball against T. Ball passes to Turner. Now Garnett. Back to Turner. On the wing, Iguodala, defended by Towns. And there's Bryant. That's good on the assist by Iguodala. Bryant's got 17.
And they're leaning on the mid-range right now. That's 6 of their last 10 from that area.
Knocked loose. And the slam dunk by Iguodala.
Well, you got to admire how effective Andre is just.
Now here's Teague. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Looking here at some numbers for Jeff Teague. Good season for him last year. Averaged about 12 points a game, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
There's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Ball, he's checked in for... Charlotte. With a break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second chance points last year. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard.
Pass to Vonleh. Outside, Covington. From outside, off the mark.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Ball's knocked loose. Garnett kicks the ball. Right side, Bryant. Just 5 to shoot. Iguodala wide open. And a miss there on the triple.
You know, missed that one, but still a really good start coming off the break. 3 for 4 now.
Ball against T. Passes it to Covington. Over Bull. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Well, trying to find themselves in the second half here. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Can someone in the group get hot? Let's see.
Now here's Garnett. 21 points in the game. Garnett is doubled. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Wiggins against Bryant. Wiggins kicks the tee. With some arc, that ball's nice feed that time from Wiggins. 6 points for Jeff Teague.
Jeff Teague, such a seasoned veteran. He knows exactly what to do when the defense is playing them in the pick and roll.
Ball left side from the arc. He's off on that one. And Minnesota now the other way. They'll be playing host to Miami for their next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, they've absolutely dominated that category in this one, and it's reflected in the score.
Now here's Garnett, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It goes on Noah Vonleh.
Wow, he got whacked on that, which shouldn't be much debate there.
If you were coaching, Doris, and you could run your offense through any center in the game, and let's take guys that are playing right now, because we go back in history, and the names are endless, but who would you run your offense through at that position?
Probably a guy that the casual NBA fan is not as knowledgeable about as they should be, Kevin, and that's Nikola Jokic. This is a young, early 20-year-old who may be the best passer out of the post position that we've seen in a generation. Jokic is a guy who can handle the ball from three-point territory. He can take it off the window and initiate your offense. They run him like a point center, and it's appropriate because he's unselfish and gifted as a passer.
Gifted, great word to use, you're right. Here's Paul after the made shot from Jeff T. Pass to Kobe. The dish to Iguodala. And Bull wide open. He shoots, and he sinks that one hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Well, what a great look by Andre Iguodala. We know he's unselfish. If there's space for his guy, he's going to find him.
Towns wide open. A three-pointer off the mark. And it's Paul with the ball for Charlotte. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half, and good that time.
Well, this guy has been efficient and effective all night. That IQ has been on display.
Timberwolves have gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Wiggins passes to Chang. Down low. Here's Towns. He gets it in there. Towns has got 4 this quarter.
Well, he's so good at finding high percentage shots. Karl Anthony Towns, even with a tough defender on him, comes through. That's pretty work.
Now here's Paul. 13 points in the game. And the layup falls. Paul's got 15.
Beautiful stuff from CP3, figuring out every single way to exploit the weakness of the defense.
Towns dishes to T. Back to Towns. And Bull pulls it down. Bull's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Paul finds Bryant. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 10 assists here tonight. So active.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
And Teague, here we go. He blocks it again.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
From past the arc. Hornets with the rebound. Hornets got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. To the middle, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague.
And let's check out some of the numbers here on Karl Anthony Towns. Great showing for him last season. 7th in rebounding, 9th in blocks, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
He was a top 10 rebounder last season for good reason. He's an incredibly intense guy to compete with. And for a full game, too. I mean, just nonstop. Charlotte calls timeout.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Biombo, he's checked in for Bull. Doug McDermott comes in for Kevin Garnett. Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for Kobe. And Chris Dunn subbed in for Chris Paul. Now, here's Dunn. Now the pass to Isaac. Off target with his 3. Minnesota's gotten blanked from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. The 6th pick back in 2017. 6'10" Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State. Greg, what have you seen from him?
Came in somewhat raw. Potential as a rangy defender. Offensively, though, still a ways to go.
Towns, good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
What a great play. Totally schooled the defender on that one.
Now, here's Dunn. Frame defending. Pass to McDermott. Puts up a 3. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. Dunn's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, we know that McDermott came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter. Get your hands up and contest, or he'll make you pay.
Now, here's Colvin. Can't connect from short range. 1:53 left to play in the third. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Listen, there are a few guards in this league who can overpower defenders, but Dunn, that rare breed.
Well, so many people were worried about Chris Dunn's offense after his rookie year, but you know what, Greg? He's turned it around.
And gone from struggling to hit 40% of his shots to shooting better from the floor. Still a strong defender, and he's making people forget that his offense was ever a question mark.
Here's Graham. Here's Towns. It's Biombo with the rebound.
Normally he'll drill that shot, and I'm sure they'll look to find him in that spot again.
No doubt. Very good play call, good execution. Sometimes it just doesn't fall.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Towns. That's good. It's his 7th made basket in 14 tries.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Now, here's Dunn. Graham defending. Iguodala outside. And here is Isaac. Dunn outside. Fires from the corner and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Isaac's got his 2nd basket of the night. Now Culver. There's 38 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Boy, how about the anticipation from Karl Anthony Towns? Beats everyone to the spot and goes right back up with it.
Now, here's Dunn, guarded closely. In the corner, it's McDermott. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Here we go, one-on-one. Okogie, the pass to Graham. Dunn with it. He has 5. On the wing, it's Iguodala from downtown. That's in. And so is Charlotte with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. They've been playing some ferocious defense. Back to the action after this word. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, we've got Culver, and it's Graham in at the 3 slot. Now here's Bryant, and Kobe throws it down.
I love seeing Bryant just get up and go for it. His leaping ability never ceases to impress.
Now here's Culver. He's covered by Isaac.
That's about reading the floor. Hits his man right where he wanted it.
Charlotte's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. Floats one up. Kobe with the bucket. Bryant's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
And so here's Charlotte after the basket by Minnesota. Dunn kicks to Bull. Bryant dishes to Bull. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. Bryant's got his 5th assist in this one. Now here's Culver. Defense is right there. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Now, here's Culver, following the miss by Kobe Bryant.
I'll tell you, you hate to pin this on one person, but his inefficiencies at the offensive end are holding this group back.
And what an alley-oop. Those two lead each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Now, here's Culver. He's covered by Isaac. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
The first one falls. And great, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school, and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Now, here's Biombo. Inside, here's Garnett. That one falls. Garnett's got 25 points.
Well, at his age, for Kevin Garnett, it's about the passion and toughness allowing him to be successful.
Now, here's Culver, defended by Paul. Now, here is Muscala. 6 to shoot. Kicks it to Culver. Over Paul. A putback. Right wing. Kogi inside the three-point line. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Hornets. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Garnett, the pass to Biombo. Garnett, right side. Over Graham. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
And these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Here's Kogi. He kicks it to Muscala. Shoots the 3. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
To the inside. Biombo finds Paul. Garnett outside. It's stolen by Muscala. Now, here's Culver. He's covered closely. Paul with the steal. Goes up, and it's slammed in by Garnett.
And it's no secret that Paul is an energetic defender, constantly swiping at the ball and ripping away steals.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Now, here's Culver, defended by Paul. And here's Culver. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Culver's got 4 this quarter.
And for me, guys, this is an area that Culver should utilize more often, showing off that incredible feel with the jumper.
Now, here's Isaac. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Graham, the pass to Culver. Over Paul. Culver's shot is off.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Now here's Paul. He's tightly guarded. Passes it to Iguodala. Back to Garnett. Pass to Biombo. 4 on the clock. Garnett kicks to Isaac. He dishes it to Garnett. Tries again. It's stolen. Here's Green. He's covered by Isaac. And there's the pass to Culver. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Pass to Reed. From deep. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Garnett's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Iguodala outside. The feed to Garnett. And it's slammed in by Garnett.
And no surprise here, right? This guy is not only a gifted player, but he is so smart on the offensive end.
And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now. But when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Passes to Muscala. Now Wiggins. Banked in off the glass.
Well, nice decision on the pick and roll. Wiggins getting his own offense within the flow.
Done outside. Pass to Cabot. Some of these players are making more money on endorsement deals than on their NBA contracts. I mean, I shake my head at that, don't you?
It's an amazing time in which we live because the power of social media and the understanding of today's athlete that their brand is significant and that their brand extends outside of the lines of competition. You see so many men who have overseas opportunities, whether you're talking Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell. They understand the power of the face and the talents they bring to the table. Truly, truly remarkable young men.
Remarkable indeed.
That's the idea. You work the ball into that area. It's a sweet spot.
Culver passes to Bell. Kicks to Wiggins. Shoots over Carter Williams. Here's Bell. Biombo with the block.
Well, Biombo's calling card, right? A terrific shot blocker. Boy, put it in his vicinity. He's sending it back.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. And this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Hornets.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Garnett.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game.
Now, here's Dunn.
Timeout.
Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Charlotte calls timeout. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Garnett.
And his performance has been a jaw dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight. because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Dunn right side. And it's Carter Williams in the corner. And he gets it to go.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Done outside. Back to McDermott. Here's the three. Count it.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
Well, for all intents and purposes, this game is over. Just a matter of time here.
So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better.